You want it, ladies and gentlemen? Well, you're going to get it. You're going to get an unholy like evening that you've seen no other on Sportswire Radio because we have a man that is truly the definition of prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage. A man alongside NEW most certainly helped build Sportswire Radio and build this platform where you see wrestler after wrestler come on here and boy, does he have plenty to say here tonight. We're going to get you ready for a few days from now. NEW Season 7 kicks off. You've heard from a couple of different people that have been on this platform that are going to be there this Saturday. We're going to talk, though, with the man that is going to be in the center of it all. He is going to certainly react here to what Joe Starr had to say, the Puerto Rican Dream. Yeah, him. We'll definitely get to that because Mr. Dvorak actually holds a recent victory over him. We're going to talk about Tyson Spade being a 22-time Warfare champion. Yeah, we'll definitely get into that. We'll most certainly, though, talk about the birthday boy, the belated birthday boy, Justin Abel Sane, back on top and maybe the most potent DHC we've ever seen and maybe the most potent and most unholy faction we've ever seen here. We're going to talk about that here and some. We're also going to talk about here this open challenge that our guest has here coming up. We're going to definitely, I'm sure, take a temperature there and who knows whatever else. But, you know, since we do things differently, and I know that our guest has been here time after time after time, and you know, it's only right since great white guitarist Mark Kendall is here in less than 90 minutes and he got the introduction that our guest is about to get. It would certainly be, well, rather unholy of us if I didn't give Mr. Dvorak that introduction because, yeah, after what he's done to Gabe Sayers, I don't want to turn into Gabe Sayers. I don't want to be like Power Surge. I don't want to be like D Savage and be out of here because he might want me to be out of here, but I want to certainly keep on this man's good side here over the next 90 minutes. So I am going to give him that introduction because in the words of Def Leppard frontman Joe Elliott, ladies and gentlemen, let's get rocked, baby, and get this show on the road here in style on Sportswire Radio, the number one global radio station where all wrestling matters. So with that, without further ado, here on the Sport Report, number one Gamble Sports Show. A man that has won the most championships of any Sportswire Radio Hall of Famer. And that even includes the likes of WWE legend Savio Vega, the band Zebra, Kicks, and Great White. He is the leader of the group DHC. He is Mr. KTA. His name is simply put the Holy my friend, how are we doing?
I am doing fantastic, Tom. I mean, how could I not be doing fantastic? It's been a very, very great time to be a part of the DHC, to be a part of NEW, to be a part of the underground wrestling world. So I am fantastic, Tom. How are you doing?
Ask my voice after 11 o'clock Eastern time, but you ask me the same question every time you're here every few weeks, and I'll give the same answer. But yeah, I'm very excited about NEW. I'm certainly looking forward to this Saturday afternoon being in the chat. I always like to start my weekends with you guys when the season's in about full bloom and the flowers are blooming across the Northeast. NEW is blooming here, and let's get into it here. And especially for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the platform that you, DHC and NEW most certainly helped build here, Sportswire Radio. Tell us what we can expect from you and the rest of DHC.
DHC is going to do what it's always done, and we are going to dominate the underground wrestling world. Our newest member, Justin Abel saying the NEW Undisputed Champion, the man who made D Savage quit season 6 finale, is a part of the DHC. We have Rhea Silver, the Hellhound, the hardcore champion. And we have the unholy Jake Dvorak, soon to be your new NEW North.
Oh, I can't wait to talk about that. Oh, we're going to definitely get to that in a little while because I know Joe Starr is here. I don't even have to look at the chat, and I know that Joe Starr here has got a list of notes that he's going to be taking here in this chat. I'll get to that in a little while, but I want to talk about DHC because Justin Abel saying, I mean, certainly everybody was taken aback by it, but really, if you've been following Instagram, you would have really saw it coming, and especially after what D Savage said and all those different things. And I mean, we're just lucky that Justin Abel Sane is only in DHC and has the World Undisputed Championship because he could have nearly chopped a man's hands off there. I mean, considering, I mean, you want to talk about you being unholy, what Justin Abel Sane could have done. I mean, let's just say death penalty without parole. I mean, he really could have done a lot worse, I mean, to Savage in just taking that Undisputed Championship from him. What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, in my honest opinion, he should have done a lot worse. I mean, D Savage, the guy that just won the Undisputed Championship, doesn't know how to promote his own product, his own title reign. This guy who claims to be up next wasn't up next. He was up next to be the one to say goodbye to NEW, to quit NEW, because just like Power Surge, we are no longer seeing D Savage. We are no longer seeing Power Surge, and something tells me Rhea Silver took out the trash known as Zero as well. So you can say goodbye to 3 of the most useless, worthless people of the NEW roster in the entire history of NEW.
Well, I think Power Surge, there was a lot more respect with him and Joe. So I'm going to get to that, though. I want to save that for a little while. So we'll get into that. But, you know, in some ways, you make a point about Savage because Savage, he said things that it did seem like it went too far. It was certainly a line that was crossed. And again, I don't know where I stand on Justin Abel saying just yet. I'm going to watch season 7 like everybody else, and I'm excited to see what he says and the rest of the gang does here coming up this Saturday afternoon. We'll put up the YouTube link so people can go hit the sub button and hit that notification to be a part of the chat. But I mean, D Savage forced Justin Abel Sane to a place that he had no choice but to go. I mean, nobody says those things about another person's other half. I mean, to be fair, I mean, could you have blamed Justin Abel Sane? Should he have chopped off D Savage's hands? I mean, think about it.
Should have done a lot worse than that. I would have took that hammer and caved in the skull of D Savage, maybe knock some sense into D Savage. But you know what? That is all said and done, Tom. He is gone, and you know what? We have a roster that cares about the product, that promotes the product, that is not afraid to go out there and say, this is what we do best. And that's exactly what we have. We have Justin Abel Sane, a proud member of the roster, a proud member of DHC. You look at the roster now, we have new faces coming in, especially for season 7. We have about 2 or 3 new faces coming in, and I don't want to go into too much detail about a few of them.
Well,
However,
one of them I know very well, as a matter of fact, because I know one from the promo wrestling world. And when that person told me, hey, do you know about this company called NEW? I'm like, have you not watched Sportswire over the past year? And what a small world. But not to ask you too much about that, I want to touch upon it for a minute. Does it feel like, in a way, that this is going to be a totally different season than unlike any other, because it is a different roster? You know, you talk about people like Zero and Power Surge. They've been institutions. They've been staples of this company for a long time. Savage, the last few seasons, has certainly made quite a name for himself. Those names are no longer here, but we've got some fresh faces here coming in. And so do you feel like that this is going to be maybe one of the more different seasons that NEW's had to date?
Yeah, definitely so. I mean, you look at the newcomers that was just Kuma, Joestar, and Hiroshima. Now, you know, the roster has changed up so much that they're some of the most longer tenured here. I mean, there was a few tapings ago when I looked at the roster and I realized that Leonidas was the third most longest roster member that we had here at NEW. And I mean, yeah, it's been about 4 years since he joined, but just to see how much people came and gone, it's pretty amazing that we was able to just keep on growing and keep on changing and keep on adapting with whatever's been thrown our way. But
yeah, I think that's exciting. I think, just to touch upon it for a minute, I think that that's exciting because you want to have fresh faces. You want to go out and see what some of the very brightest have done. And I think that there's no question, you know, you mentioned names like Joe Star, you mentioned Shima and Kuma, and they've become rising stars here. I mean, you know, I'm going to get to Joe Star. Don't you worry. I'm going to bring him up. But I think that those three names have really become three of the biggest rising stars in the entire underground circuit, and they've done it here in NEW. And you mentioned Leonidas, and he's a guy, pound for pound, is always putting on banger after banger, and he's now one of the veterans. Look at what Spade has done. Spade, I think, has rejuvenated his career. Feud of the year. I think that's going to go down to me the feud of the year in the under 25, and that's all been done here. So I think, in a way, it's got to be exciting because there's still a lot to accomplish here in NEW because of the variety, because of the different people that are here now. And I think a lot of people are going to be really excited what's ahead here starting this Saturday.
I agree. It's definitely no pun intended. No pun intended. Sorry. It's going to be a new era.
Yeah, I was waiting for one of us to bring that up, and I was trying to like phrase without bringing up that word, but you just did there, so I'll give you that.
It had to happen, Tom.
But I want to talk about, you have an open challenge here. Come on, I'm gonna put the poster up for that. So I mean, why start with an open challenge? What's your thinking here? What we're gonna see coming up this weekend?
Well, it all stems from Power Surge not giving me a goddamn opponent ahead of time. So you know what? I'm putting out an open challenge. It doesn't matter if you're coming from Michigan, coming from Iowa, coming from where you come from. Doesn't matter if you're in the NEW locker room already. I want a real challenge. I want a real fight, and I want blood. So if Power Surge isn't going to give me a match, I'm giving myself a match. So it doesn't matter who it is. If you want some, you know where to find me.
All right, but I have to ask you on this because you and Gabe, we spoke about this here for months. I met the man a few months back, and certainly that was a topic here for a few months on the platform, and what you and Gabe did to each other, even let alone at season finale 6. Yet you want more blood. You want someone to really go out there and try to top what you and Gabe just did. I mean, really, would it be the advice for anybody, not only in the locker room, but in the underground wrestling circuit, maybe not to accept this open challenge, considering what you just put Gabe Sayers through for the past 4 months?
I don't care what anybody thinks, Tom. If they want a fight, if they want to show what they can do in the ring, if they want a real fight with me, Jake Dvorak, we can go on and on and on about different people who could show up. I mean, I know plenty of people out there that likes to bleed. You know, Ox McCoy. There's people from UWF, TF Crew, you name it. Doesn't matter who you are. Saturday, April 26th. I want blood. Whether I'm the one bleeding, they're the one bleeding. We are going to paint the whole entire backyard with blood.
Well, you know what? You didn't say the Rolling Stones painted black, but we'll take the World Painted Blood, which was a Slayer album. So we'll certainly give you that one there. Ox would appreciate that reference. But, I do want to talk about DHC again because you, Justin, and Rhea, I know that there's been previous incarnations. I know we've talked about Zero being in the group, Surge being in the group, but this version seems to be the most potent, the most unholy, to use your name, of any of them to date, just because of what now Justin back on top. And certainly this is going to be a Justin Abel saying like we've seen no other. I mean, Rhea speaks for herself. I mean, Rhea, what she has done, I would say almost anybody should tread lightly around her and go watch the footage. And we just talked about you with Gabe Sayers these last few months. I kind of feel like that this is going to be the most unholy version of DHC to date.
Completely agree. And that's the plan, Tom. We're going out there to do what we do best, win championships and take over. Justin Abel Sane is somebody that I brought into the wrestling world back in July of 2014. And it was just a matter of time until we became a tag team again. And finally, after years of convincing and talking to him, he finally sees what we see. And we have Rhea Silver that has just been on a complete dominant role here throughout the season of NEW. I mean, taking out Zero, winning the Hardcore Championship at Star Clash. Before she joined DHC, she didn't win at Star Clash. However, after joining DHC, she won at Star Clash. You see, DHC does wonders for everybody. And who knows, maybe we'll see another member or maybe see another 2 members. We are always looking to grow in the DHC.
So you want to actually grow the group. Usually you guys have always been rather smaller by addition, and yet now you want to grow the group potentially. I mean, you guys have always been rather potent as a trio, but now you're saying that maybe you'd like to grow. I mean, yeah, you've had before 4, but maybe you could say double, maybe triple. I mean, I don't know where you stop. Where is the line to draw? But I mean, you're saying that you potentially would add more members to the group this season. Is that what you're telling us?
It's not potentially, it's going to happen. We are going to have new people that sees what we see, that sees the vision with our group here, with our family. Justin Abel Sane, Rhea Silver, Jake Dvorak. There will be other people that wants to be a part of DHC, and when the time is right, they'll join. It's not.
You must be happy to have Justin back with you because you spoke about a 10.5 going on 11-year relationship that you and Justin have had. You've certainly had your ups and downs, but it's gotta feel good that Justin has come home. That Justin now sees things fully eye to eye with you. And that's got to be a good feeling because you and him have always been synonymous with this company. You and him have been here through thick and thin. Yeah, things are great now. You got the flashy coverage, the views, the subscribers, but it wasn't always as rosy as it is today. And it must be for you very rewarding to see Justin back with you side by side and someone that's always been here, but now we're going to get the best of you together for the first time in a really long time.
Exactly. I mean, the last time that we were a part of the same group, I think it was back in 2019, and before that was 2015. So it was only a matter of time until we got back in the same group with the same vision. Exactly where we want to be is exactly where we are right now. The only thing that's missing is one championship that has been away from me in NEW.
I can't wait to get to that.
But if you look at it, Justin Abel Sane has been by my side with everything that's been going on with Power Surge, and luckily he's gone. He's out of here. He's not even a question in NEW anymore. He sits behind a screen. He calls a shot. He flips on the camera whenever he gets told to put on the camera. But I got a friend that's been by my side longer, and you know what? Has always been by my side, whether it was in the ring, outside of the ring, across the ring, on the same side of the ring. He has always been there, and he has stuck with NEW. He has never left.
You talked about that a few months ago. You were here. You talked about Surge, and you felt that Surge, he was never loyal in your eyes in NEW.
Never.
You talked about the fact that he went to places in different states to become a professional wrestler, an independent wrestler, and he forgot where he came from. You were very adamant about that. You were here on this platform talking about the fact that Surge forgot his roots. Whereas Justin has never forgotten his roots. Justin has always been one of those guys that has always been synonymous with this company like you. And whereas Surge, he could go with the wind is what your point was. And well, he's gone with the wind because, well, he's not wrestling here again. And I mean, there you go. I mean, you were kind of a Nostradamus with going for a few months ago's previous interview you had here. And that's what happened. Going with the wind.
Power Surge would go on and on about wanting to chase this dream together. When has Power Surge and Jake Dvorak appeared at the same federation within recent memory? That hasn't happened. You look at the relationship, my friendship, my brotherhood with Justin Abel Sane. We appeared at UWF together. We appeared at TF Crew together. Where he goes, I go, and we bring each other along. We are there side by side. We have each other's backs. We are growing NEW together. We are not only just doing that, we're making sure that each other is growing together, whether it's an NEW or not. And Power Surge, the only thing that he cares about is himself. It's clear as day.
Well, I mean, I don't know enough to say 100% of that, but I'll tell you what, there's a word that comes to mind. As we're here with the unholy Jake Dvorak, of course, he is going to be a huge part of this Saturday's NEW Season 7 premiere. You can catch Vortex on the NEW YouTube page. Give them a sub on Instagram. And, of course, Jake is the lead in here tonight because we have some guy. This guy, Mark Kendall, plays in this band called Great White, and they only had a song called One Spittin' Twice Shy. Hit number 5 on the Hot 100, and the only 2 other acts that were higher than them on the charts that year, 1989, was some guy Prince, some guy Bobby Brown. We're not going to go hump around here like a famous Bobby Brown song. We're not going to certainly have Purple Rain here, moments like Prince did, because Jake Dvorak will certainly go unholy on me and put me into some barbed wire and tables. But Mark Kendall will be here at 10 o'clock. But for now, Jake is here. And yeah, there you go. See, I knew that Jake had something up his sleeves. He still wants to put me in some barbed wire and thumbtacks. I know Rhea would certainly welcome that. But shout out to all of our NEW people. But, I think, and what you just said, and I went back and thought about our conversation that we had a couple of months ago where you had your own problems with Surge. And I think the term to describe this DHC is loyalty. I think about you and Justin, a 10-plus year relationship. You and Rhea, for the most part, have always been on the same page. And I think that what's going to keep this faction together and make it the most unholy of any faction we've seen in NEW history, let alone DHC, is the word loyalty. Talk to me about your thoughts when you hear that word when I describe this version of DHC.
I think that fits it perfectly. I mean, you look at what Reyes Silver has been through this past year. It's always been Jake Dvorak and Reyes Silver. Yeah, we pulled the strings a little bit, acted like I was with DHC. However, from behind the scenes, I have always been with DHC. It was always a part of the plan. Me and Reyes Silver has been building DHC up from the ground all the way up to the sky within the last season. I mean, we got rid of Power Surge. We got rid of Zero. Whenever I needed her help and whenever she needed my help, we'd be there for each other. And now we bring in one of the most dominant wrestlers out there in the underground today, Justin Abel Sane. You talk about loyalty, you talk about friends, you talk about brotherhood. There is no one better than Justin Abel Sane. I mean, he's been by my side. We've been running NEW together since July 2014. He has never left my side. He has never said, oh, let's go chase the dream together, and just went to somewhere by himself. We go to everywhere together. And I know if he ever needs my help for the undisputed title, for the tag team titles, for any other title he wants to go after, I will always be there for them. And I know exactly that they will also be there for me, especially if there's some certain titles that we want to win. I mean, you look back at the season 6 finale, and Hiroshima and Kuma was making a mockery of the season 6 finale by just going in there and doing whatever you want to call that. So me and Reyes Silver helped.
I was going to ask you about that because they kind of stick out here a bit. I know we're going to get to Joe. We're going to definitely get to him, but they kind of stick out here in a sense going into this season 7 where they have those tag team championships. Obviously, the tag team championships were certainly talked about quite a bit the last few months. Obviously, they were held in part with Stephen Havoc and Rob O'Malley. I'm not going to certainly regurgitate that history, but Shima and Kuma now have those tag belts. Kuma also has a chance to maybe, get himself some singles gold potentially down the road here this season. And I would have to think that that is one of the top targets for DHC is to dispose of, maybe some would call Shima and Kuma accidental champions. What is your thoughts on that?
That's exactly what they are. I mean, yeah, they won the tag team titles not too long ago. And I mean, what have they done? What have they done in their career with the tag team titles? What have they done to earn the tag team titles? I mean, they didn't even beat anybody for them. The titles were vacated, and they wrestled each other at the season 6 finale. They go out there, instead of going out there and wrestling, they went out there and just made a mockery of wrestling. They weren't even trying, and they are accidental champions. People like Justin Abel Sane, people like Reyes Silver, people like me, we are fighting champions. We go out there to fight and to win. They go out there and just to have fun. I'm tired of having fun. I want the very best out of every.
They're probably still celebrating 420, some would say. They're still celebrating it.
Well, the three of them, Joe Star included,
Joe celebrates 420 every day, though. I mean, Joe celebrates at 365. The other two, they still might be celebrating it.
Well, Joe doesn't even know how to spell 420, so, of course.
I'm getting to him. I'm getting to him. Don't you worry about that. But, I think that, would you want a team with Rhea or Justin? Would that matter in terms of that?
Of course. We went out there to prove that we are the best. And I mean, they just got attacked. They didn't even try to fight back. They just laid on the ground, got hit, stomped on, you name it. And it would just be as easy as me and Reyes Silver, or me and Sane, or Sane and Silver going out there and winning the tag team titles. You're going to hear the bell ring, and then a few seconds later, you're going to hear 1, 2, 3, and new NEW tag team champions, DHC. We're coming for every single championship in season 7. So the tag team titles, the Northeast Championship, hell, even the All Wrestling Matters Hardcore Championship. We're coming for every single title available here in the underground world. And that's exactly what we are doing in season 7. We are winning it all.
Well, I'll tell you what, you need to be tuned in to NEW. First of all, their YouTube channel, that's the YouTube link. We're going to put the physical link here so people can go and actually check out what NEW has to offer, because I'm in most of their chats most of the time. I donate to their Patreon page. I don't even look at the spoilers. I just want to say, take my $5. Thank you for your efforts here in our circuit. And you can watch some of their content. A lot of great content, a lot of history, a lot of stuff that if you're a wrestling fan, you will definitely not be disappointed with our friends here in NEW. Please support them. They have been very gracious to our community, and they've done a lot of great stuff. And we're very honored to have the unholy Jake Dvorak here to get us ready for this Saturday upcoming, and it's season 7 Vortex. We will get to the chat here in a few minutes. I promise you it'll be worth the wait here. But you talked about a championship that you obviously have in your sights, and I want to talk about that Northeast Championship, and I want to talk about that guy, Joe Star, who's had quite a bit to say about you these past few weeks. But you went into his backyard, figuratively and literally, and you went there and you stomped a mud hole in him. And despite everything that he hoped it would be and tried to stop it, well, he might call himself the Puerto Rican Dream, but he had nightmares of the unholy Jake Dvorak, and You defeated him in his neck of the woods. And you also said on this platform when you were here a few weeks back and you spoke with Joe Starr that you wanted the winner of Surge and Joe Starr. So last I checked, since Joe Starr won that match and holds the Northeast Championship, sir, at the top of your priorities should certainly be winning a rubber match with Joe Starr and claiming that NEW Northeastern Championship.
Exactly, Tom. And that's the only title that I have never won in NEW. So how fitting would it be? Season 7, Jake Dvorak beats the holy hell out of Joe Starr to win the championship that I have never held. I mean, the story writes itself. Joe Starr, you've faced a lot of people. You faced D Savage, you faced Power Surge, you faced Tyson Spade, but you have never ever faced someone like me. And you learned that lesson recently when I went to NWE and beat you in your home federation. And I walked out victorious while you were just there laying on the ground, laying on the canvas, wondering what the hell just happened. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Doesn't matter whether it's the first event, the second event, the third event. I am coming for that Northeast Championship, and it doesn't matter who is holding it, because whoever it is, when I want that championship, I'm getting it.
And how does that make you feel that Joe continues to find ways to scrape by and keep this championship, whether it's with Surge, whether it's with Tyson Spade? I mean, it seems like that this run, I mean, eventually the clock has to strike midnight, doesn't it?
110%. I mean, Joe Starr has just been getting lucky. I mean, he hasn't had a dominant reign by no means. He's been getting attacked. He's been getting blindsided. He's been barely able to make it out of every match. He's been so close time and time again on losing that championship, barely hanging in. And once that day comes where me and Joe Starr meets face to face for that Northeast Championship, that will be when the clock strikes midnight.
And, you know, Joe talked about the fact that that victory over Surge cemented his career. It cemented his legacy. But you don't buy that. You don't think that that win, scraping by against Surge, a man you've defeated many times, a man that you have a history unlike no other, that you really don't think his legacy at all it's cemented, and rather he's more of a paper champion.
What legacy? He won the tag team titles, lost those. He won the Northeast Championship, barely hanging in there. I mean, he won at Star Clash, but I mean,
he won a couple of awards this past season. I mean, he's certainly been talking about that. He won a couple of awards.
Good for him. You know what? I won more awards than him. So, you know, if you want, you know, I bet you can't even spell that word. I bet you. You know what?
That's you know what?
And I know you're in the chat. Without using autocorrect, go ahead and spell the word.
That's a good question, but I'm going to respectfully plead the fifth on that, because we know that we don't want Mr. Kendall to change his mind and not show up here. But, you know, obviously, you know, I understand. Listen, there's no question that, again, people are kind of, you know, they kind of look at him. He said that the list was all a stunt. He said it was all an act. It was all a stunt. It was all to get him attention. Was it because he couldn't maybe say the names correctly? I mean, Joe Henry say their name, they appear, but rather with him, he couldn't pronunciate the names. Was it because those names he thought about and said, you know what, I don't think this, I could really hang with these guys or get in these types of matches, or these people would know who he is? And then maybe he just said, well, it was just a joke and gotcha. I mean, you know, it was all a stunt, he said about that list.
There's no way in hell, Tom, that someone is going to sit down, try to spell 2-3 lists worth of accomplishments that he wants to accomplish, and then just say that it's just all a joke. The only thing that is a joke is the name Joe Starr, the legacy of Joe Starr. The list wasn't a joke. He's the joke.
Oh, well, you know what? There was some people certainly on TikTok that might have thought that, but I'm going to certainly plead the fifth. But if you had any final words for Joe Starr, maybe tell him not to show up this coming Saturday. I talked to him about that. Lyra Limber showed up here. Not going to ask you much on Lyra Limber because obviously you probably don't watch Texas Promo Wrestling on Instagram like I do. I know you definitely are a busy man. You have a lot of other more important things to attend to. But I mean, if you had any other final words for Joe or maybe any advice for him before this Saturday, what would they be?
I would tell him to hold on to that Northeast Championship very, very tightly. Keep it warm because it's just a matter of time until I beat him and become the Northeast champion. I mean, you look at the history of the Northeast Championship.
Yeah.
It held it Power Surge, the Savage.
Oh my God, the
Very
Power
rare
Surge
belt.
reign was just
It's a
unbelievable.
very rare
Unbelievable.
championship to hold. And you look at the list of people that has won it, and then you look at Joe, and you're just, one of these things aren't like the other.
Well, I mean, that's wrestling for you. It's listen, there's Baskin Robbins is 31 different flavors. I mean, Joe is definitely. I don't know if Joe is going to be mentioned in the same breath as some of the names that have held the championship. I'm going to leave that at that. But apparently, Mr. Dvorak, I've received word that somebody would like to say something to you, maybe commending you about Joe Starr, or certainly congratulating you on eventually winning the Northeast Championship here in season 7, which will take place this Saturday. But I don't have to bring this person up because I don't certainly want this person to be putting thumbtacks and barbed wire. I can tell them maybe to find something else to do, but what do you think? Do you think they should come on and show their face, or nah? Nah, don't do it.
You know what? Bring him on. Let's just
Sure.
see what this. If it's somebody not worth my time, we gotta remove them. Once I say remove
All
them,
right.
they're out.
All right,
Okay?
it's your show. I certainly want to make sure of that. So we'll see if this person, if you are who you are, Mr. Dvorak is going to remove you. If you aren't, then you're just a fan wanting an autograph. Well, you can stay on here. And wait a minute, this isn't a fan that wants an
All right,
autograph.
remove them.
All
Remove them.
right.
Remove them. Remove them.
So you got 60 seconds. Mr. Dvorak is very serious about this. Joe, what brings you here? I didn't realize that you've shown up here tonight. What is the occasion, actually?
Well, everything they just like saying like I haven't really proved myself worthy during the championship
Yes,
lineage of the Northeast title. And
that's correct.
you know, he, I that's his opinion, One way or another, I could prove it wrong. Or I pretty much if he's right. Cuz when was the last time that I pretty much failed at my defenses of like when I was barely swimming?
Well,
I
I mean, good
my
point.
accomplishments with the championship kind of count still because I'm still champion right now as we are speaking. And that brings me to my next question, or not my next question, but my next statement in a way that Surge is not with us anymore. So
Yes.
it maybe because I kind of proved that I could overcome Surge, and I did.
You did.
Now
Big win. Absolutely.
I'm proving facts right now too. So hey, I know people in the chat right now. That's my next list. Probably I could bring back my new list of what I've
I thought
done.
the list was a stunt, Joe.
Hey, a lot of people been telling me everything else, but you never know. I could bring it back. I could not. You never know. You have to wait and see.
That's a good point. I am very
But
excited about this season 7
that's
this
all I'm
Saturday.
saying. I'm proving myself that maybe I got one more that I could pretty much because I did beat you before at the 2K subscriber special. It was me
1-1.
versus you,
It's 1-1.
1-on-1, and I beat you. So we're 1-on-1 against each other. So, probably a rubber match would make sense.
I think that's a good point. I think the rubber match is going to mean a lot more because your championship's on the line. And Jake, has never held the Northeast Championship, and this is the most
But
unholy
wait,
version of THC. Yes.
there is more. Who
Yes.
was the another opponent that I faced that never won that title even yet?
It's definitely had to be more.
Leonidas.
Definitely had to be more than 60 seconds, Tom.
All right. Well,
It was.
Well, Joe, is there anything else you'd like to say? I know you are back here in a few weeks, and I know you are going to have plenty to say here about season 7. And Mr. Dvorak is very, very much upset and wants to enforce the 60-second rule. And he has been generous tonight to let you hear. But you know, I love you, Joe. You know,
And I
how was
said what I
420
said.
for you? How was
That
420 day? How
it was
420?
nice.
Yeah. Are you still celebrating by any chance?
Uh,
Okay, maybe next question. Yeah, plead the fifth on that one. We're
Plead the
live.
fifth on that one.
Yeah, plead the fifth on that one. We don't want Mr. Kendall to change his mind, but obviously we're excited about Saturday, and I know that you're going to be there. I don't know what you'll be doing just yet, but anything else you want to tell Jake before we let you go and enjoy the rest of the show and maybe enjoy a doobie or two?
Well, I said what I said. I know for sure that's all I needed to say.
That's a good point. Thank you, Joe. And there was Joe Starr once again, the NEW Northeast champion, and he left. He gave the devil horn, and he left. And that's that, Mr. Dvorak. And he left. He left. And you know what? I could understand why you feel it was your show today. Joe has been here multiple times recently. And I'm just going to go right to the chat because a lot of people want to talk to you. And I'm just going to go right and move along here because Joe Starr certainly, I think, had a few things to say. But I guess we'll have to find out what it'll be taking place this Saturday and what exactly he had to say. Tyson Spade is in the house, who, by the way, threatened to unsubscribe one more time if Joe Starr shows up unannounced. So just please do not unsubscribe anybody here. Zilla, who celebrates a birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday, Zilla. Hope you have a great day. And I think I'm here tomorrow with Maxwell Reeves. So, we go from Mark Kendall to Maxwell Reeves. I mean, you never know what you're going to get on Sportswire, but Maxwell Reeves will be here with Tsunami, and I don't know what time yet, but we'll be here. And in the meantime, we're going to be hooked on some more comments, to quote a Great White Album. But let's move on here and get to some more comments. Yes, hello to Tyson Spade, and yes, happy belated birthday to Justin Abelson. I want to wish Justin a very happy birthday, and I hope that he has his best year yet to come. He's got the NEW Undisputed Championship, so far, birthday so good. And yes, happy birthday, Zilla. And the man that was here, and we saw him just now, so we got the point. Mr. DG is here. Mr. Brenton is here. And by the way, what's it like to have a figure now? I saw you guys have a figure. Did you on Instagram? You guys have what was that? That's interesting. I mean, how does that make you feel to have your own action figures?
I don't know if you're pulling my leg or not, Tom, but that was just an AI picture. There's a few people out there that thought it was legitimate.
Yes, I actually saw one of the commenters was a guy, Ragface, who was from the former backyard company of Big Man Cams, and he actually said, "Take my money now." And I was like, "Yeah, we're bringing this money, up on Sports."
I don't have anything to offer him.
Well, I mean, you actually have a Patreon page where you could actually accept his money. I mean, so technically, I would say, if you go on the YouTube page, you can subscribe to the NEW Patreon page. But yes, a very nice picture. AI does a lot of things. And that I'm not going to go into further with that. Happy birthday, Zilla. And happy to Joe. Sean Jovi is in the house, who was celebrating 420 live and not live on Sportswire Radio this past Sunday. But a lot of people did. Listen, can't blame the people. But yes, thank you, Zilla. We appreciate that. And speaking of people that are going to really upset your evening, I know further, but this guy here calls you a sad man. I mean, I'm not sure what the reason why he would call you a sad man. I mean, what does he know?
Apparently not a lot. Maybe he should stick to the promo world. And, it's funny that I'm seeing Lyra Limber first before Anthony Steele. So...
Well, there'll be more of this coming, so let's get to the chat. We'll come back to that individual. Yes, thank you, Joe. We wish Zilla a very happy birthday. And Afro Man, I got high. And speaking of people here that have some things to say, and I'm not quite sure what they are, the hall monitor of Sportswire Radio, Justin Parsley, is Jake here to announce that Deathmatch is dead? No, that's Gene Simmons saying Rock is dead, but Deathmatch Wrestling isn't dead. It's not dead by a long shot. But
Yeah, I mean, Justin Parsley, you seem like a guy that loves deathmatch wrestling, so come on up. You know what? Come here Saturday, April 26th. Get your ass beat. Go back to Iowa. Tell everybody in Iowa, IMF, tell them that you just got your ass kicked by Jake Dvorak. So come on. Free.
I mean, well, you know what? I'm gonna ask him about that because he'll be here. I think before that he'll be here because it's James Taylor's birthday coming up. But in the meantime, it's Zilla's birthday first. And yes, hello to Justin. Yes, yes, yes. Happy birthday, Zilla. Happy birthday. And here we go about this. I hate being asked to come out of retirement. I keep telling myself, Jake, my brother rate is 4 double cheeses. Okay, I didn't know that was such a thing. But hope you enjoy the double cheeseburgers. But
well,
just
Brad, you gotta hit a power surge if you're expecting a certain rate there. He's the owner of NEW, so gotta hit him up.
well, you know what? Obviously, you guys pay in hamburgers. People are used to being paid in hot dogs, but now no longer hot dogs and handshakes,
I
but double
get paid
cheeses.
real money, so I don't know what anyone else gets paid, but
Well, as long as the money keeps coming in.
exactly.
But let's say Justin Abel saying good evening. Thank you, Justin, for tuning in. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to being a part of the show on Saturday and watching it like everybody else here in the chat. And please give Jake a follow on Instagram. You can check out some of his stuff here along with the rest of NEW. And hello to Justin, yes. And give NEW a follow on Instagram. Please support NEW. We appreciate all they do for us. And Zilla likes the mask. Yeah, we had a guy, Daniel Tafua, yesterday pull out a mask and was doing, I guess, his Samoan version of Roman Reigns going, oh, and then, but you have a different type of mask. We're not going to compare a mask, but it was impressive. It was a rather definitely unholy looking mask. And we'll put it up here again so the people can check out the mask because it is definitely one that I'm sure we'll see here coming up this Saturday. But there you go. Yes, it's definitely one that I'm not going to compete with. But Justin actually fooled the Japanese people by letting him in their country. Well, that's a good one. Hopefully, he can remove some of these tariffs they talk about, but we'll leave that for a different show and a different time. And thank you, Spade. And unlike Cena, DHC can see what they see. Yeah, I mean, Cena should have turned around yesterday. That is a good point. Very well taken. And NEW is on YouTube. Definitely give them a follow. We would appreciate that. They're on the road to 2,500 subscribers. They're almost there. Very impressive. NEW is certainly moving up the ladder. And James Taylor, speaking of people that have a lot of subscribers, the ROEW owner would like to say hello and hello, hello. Sean Jovi in caps locks. By God, it's James Taylor. Yes, James Taylor. We're not going to ask him about Stone Cold driving that ATV and nearly, injuring that woman. But I just screamed it when I saw you in the chat. And good point here, though. That's facts. Family takes care of family. And this version here seems like truly the definition of family. Been doing that a lot lately. Maybe it can be our new bit, James. I don't know who this is, but I think I've seen you on Facebook because you're one of these bots, but they have a small question. But we'll see. We'll see who else is here. Let's see. I wanted to ask you about Shockey because Shockey is a man that you've been in the ring with, and Shockey was rather impressive without giving it away. He wrestled at X Brand Wrestling here this past weekend. He wrestled there in against Hardcore, and the winner of it was to be a part of the Wicked 13 tournament. And what was your thoughts of Shock and him wrestling Hardcore and just him being a part of X Brand Wrestling here this past Sunday?
I think it was great. I mean, it's finally, I think it's perfect for Shock because I think that he's one of the most underrated and overlooked wrestlers in the underground
Oh,
scene.
I agree with that.
And the stuff that he does in the ring is better than, I'll say, 90% of the people that's in the underground scene today, backyard scene, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm glad that he's finally getting his flowers. I'm glad that he's finally getting out of his comfort zone, and I'm glad that he's getting booked elsewhere because there should be more people that knows the name King Shock. I had the chance to him first time ever back at Shockey's house party, and that was one of my favorite traveling matches, whatever you want to say. Would love to step in the ring with him again, but from what I could see, and without giving a lot away, you definitely put up a great fight, and I can't wait to watch the full match when it's released.
Absolutely, no question about that, and I could not agree more with those sentiments. I speak with Shockey throughout the week here and there, and we always talk, and I always wanted to do more for Shockey, and I felt that he is very underrated. He's a tremendous talent, has a great look. His wrestling ability is definitely one of the most versatile in the underground circuit. And guy has been here a long time. And yeah, he's a fellow New Yorker, so I'm a little biased, but I'm happy that he got an opportunity against Hardcore. And I'm going to definitely talk about it with him, and happy to have put him in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame alongside some fellow New Yorkers like Mickey Vargas and certainly Torrance Banks, who I know is certainly a favorite of yours. And we'll definitely we'll see for sure. And yes, there you go. Thank you for that. And yes, we do love Shockey. We'll take a minute for that. And Kuma deserves nothing. Spade is certainly making that an emphasis. And well, he's got something, and he's going to certainly do something with it. Shockey has come home. Well, I mean, if you think Horsham, Pennsylvania was home, I mean, I guess. I mean, but Freebird rule. Okay. I'm not quite sure where we're going with some of these comments, but we'll read them off here. It was 4:20 in California when I tuned in tonight, I think. Not quite. It was like 5:20. So, but knowing you probably thought it was 4:20. Joe fears Jake. Well, that could very well be so. I mean, Joe certainly was rather, defensive, like, in a sense. So, we'll have to certainly see. I know Joe is going to be back on Sportswire, and I think 2 weeks from now, and Torrance Banks is here as well. So those guys will have a few things to say, and can't wait to hear a new Northeast champion. Could certainly well be the case. And of course, our Riot in the Ring winner, Mr. Doc Holliday from last year, would like to say what's up. I've seen Doc quite a bit in my chats the last few days, and definitely hope to see Doc on the platform. I keep saying it for like 2 years now, so hopefully that happens. And let's move on. I'm not sure about the Legends deal talk, so I'm going to move on here. But I don't know what it is. I literally don't know what we're talking about. I just want to move on. I thank you for that. Just show a picture of the list and stop talking, Joe. Well, he came and left. I think Jake certainly made his points clear. And 60 seconds, 60 minutes, 60 seconds. Close enough there. And see, you know what? And I knew it was coming out, and I should have probably walked right into that. And yes, we hope to see Spade as well on Sportswire. Want to say hello. Speaking of our underground friends, my good buddy, Mr. Colton Lee, the Heartless Sheriff, from our friends in DBW. You guys are on in the afternoon. They're on in the evening, I'm pretty sure, this weekend. So a very busy weekend ahead. I'm excited about that. And what if I wanted my ass kicked by Jake Dvorak? Sean Jovi. I mean, rather un-Jovi-like comment. I mean, after what Omen Black did to him, would he really want to step in the ring with you? I don't know if I'd advise
I mean,
that.
Sean Jovi, if you can make your ass all the way to Massachusetts, step in the ring with me, I'll be more than happy to add you to that list. Because I have actually multiple lists of my own. The other one I haven't debuted yet is the people that got their ass kicked by Jake Dvorak. But I'm
That's a long list. I mean, you do have the most championships of any Hall of Famer. I mean, that includes platinum recording artists. I mean, who would have thought? I mean, yeah. I mean, you have more championships than gold records of some of these bands that are in the Hall of Fame. And let's see what else we got here. Shock is an awesome dude. Glad he was in the ring with. Yes, they know each other from. I think it's was it WZW? I think he was a part of that. Yeah, so they know each other. Colton, what a small world. This came up a few months ago. Colton knows some of the guys, like Stephen Havoc. He knows certainly Mr. Shockey Boy, Torrance Banks. So you never know. Here, Yoshi Matsuda wants to say hello. No, I know that this is your show here, and I know I'm going to upset you when I do this here, but there was some guy that called you a sad man. I don't really know what his reasons why he called you a sad man, but he's requested a few minutes here. And I'm going to bring him on here because he, for whatever reason, says he has an explanation toward this comment. Now, I don't want to anger you here any further because I really want to talk for a few more minutes about NEW before Mr. Mark Kendall of Great White comes on. But I'm going to have to bring this person on. I think you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do, unfortunately.
So it makes you this understandably may make you sad, but I mean he is requested.
Whatever I hear his voice, it makes me sad. So
well, he's here Saturday night in your chair, so I'm gonna say I'm looking forward to that. But I am talking about Anthony Steele, who has the Ulafalas, and he has requested a microphone with good reason. He has told us that he has a reason why he called Jake Dvorak a sad man. Now, Anthony, it is great to see you. I'm looking forward to your Saturday show, and putting you in the Hall of Fame again. But tell us why you called Jake Dvorak a sad man, because I'm not following. And please tell the audience why.
The reason why I called you a sad man, Jake, is because out of all people, you didn't give me a call, man. You didn't give me. Hold on, no. Listen. This run that you're on. See, me and you have something in common. We've both beaten Gabe Sayers, big fella. But
Well, he
it's
pinned
okay,
him,
man.
though.
You know
He pinned him.
hey, the real chief is here for you. I don't know if you tuned into IMF, but Drago became my bitch at IMF last month, well, this month, and going into Rage in the Cage is going to be the same thing. But Jake, no. There's actually a real reason why I'm on here with you. Is because you know what I do, right?
That's your famous
You know
line.
what my label. You know what my label is, right? You know what they label me. The most controversial figure in all of underground wrestling, right? So
Yes.
I got a gift for you. I thought I would wait till Saturday, but no. I want to share this with you here tonight. Because there's a company that has fucked over a lot of great talent. There's a company that is there, Jake. There's a company that has messed over. I'm trying to keep it PG. I'm tired.
Yes,
of
we
hearing
have
that
Mark
button.
Kendall of Great White at 10. We really want the band to keep coming back onto Sportswire.
There's
So
there's a
very careful
company
with your words.
that has messed over the guys like D'Angelo LaFlame, Drake Golddragon, Cameron Cage, and the list goes on and on. And you see, for the people that didn't understand the other night, Anthony Steele was in Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay.
I was back where I was over 8 months ago, Jake, and I went to Goodwill just for shits and gigs. And you want to know what I found at Goodwill, Jake?
What's up?
The Resurrection Internet Championship. Only cost me $5 because they know how garbage this company is. And you know, holding this brings back key memories for me. Because the guys that held this, like D'Angelo LaFlame, a guy that set the bar for this championship, a guy that revolutionized this championship in Resurrection Wrestling, was demoted, treated like garbage, and acted like he was an afterthought behind, you know what, I'll do it, Ronnie Brady. And to hold this in my hand, it means something. But it's not the meaning that a lot of people think. Jake, because you, just as much as me, knows what happens when shit companies try to fuck over great talent. Sorry, I was waiting for it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I understand.
You know what happens when shitty promoters mess over wonderful, inspiring talent that brings real raw energy.
Yes.
That brings the realist to the ring. And Jake, I couldn't think of a better man to share this moment with than you. Because as much as we've talked back and forth, blow for blow, jab for jab on the mic, you know, I feel like it's we have a mutual connection on one thing, and that's companies like this should have never been around. Companies like this should have never revolutionized what wrestling really is. Because all it did was put money in the promoter's pockets and promote himself as the biggest star when he was the biggest joke of the community.
Okay. And what would you
So,
like to see with Jake with this?
so what I like to say is, Jake, there's not been an internet champion, a resurrection, in a minute because, as you know, I got them doors shut down faster than Ronnie Brady can try to promote himself again. But if there's ever a time that I do make my way up to you, you know, I feel like this match should happen with the greatest local jobbers that you can find, because this is all what it's freaking worth. Because this company is a joke. This championship is a joke. And you know what? Just for shits and gigs, at Raising the Cage, I'm going to walk out to IMF, a true wrestling company.
I agree with
A
that.
true spectacle of underground wrestling. One where they care about their talent, they care about their fans, and not just lining their pockets with anything and everything that they can get. And you know who else is going to be there, Jake? The guy that made this relevant. The guy that made this title relevant. And I'm keeping it up here because I want someone to show Ronnie Brady that Anthony Steele, his arch enemy, his number one thorn in his dumb ass, has this. And Ronnie, you want it? Come take it.
Well, I'll
And
certainly
Jake,
let the IMF
There's
decide.
one thing that we both know. It's just like Mac 10, Ronnie Brady ain't got the balls to do a damn thing.
Well, I mean, we'll find out. I mean, Anthony, we certainly appreciate that you've come here with some type of gold. I certainly will let the IMF decide what they'd want to do with that, and if you will show up to see Jake, and anything else you'd like to say before we go, because it is
But
Jake's time.
yeah, there is. There's Jake. Thank you for letting me have a little bit of time, because I know if there's one person I can shoot with that understands what I'm doing, where I'm coming from, it is you. I've done it multiple times with you, boss. Have fun doing it. Much love, much respect to you on that.
Likewise, sir.
And from one heel to another.
Am I a sad man? First of all, like that whole point. Oh, what was that about, Anthony?
I had to get a way to get on here.
Sad man, come on, bro.
I had to find some way to get on here. Like it's called.
You called him a sad
weaseling
man,
my way
though. I
in,
mean,
man.
people were wondering, like, we were not
Called
having a.
weaseling my way in, man. You know how it is.
Well, you let us
You know
in.
what it is, my man.
Well, that's a different group. You're not in that group, but you certainly did
But,
come here, and you revealed something that I don't know what the public really, thinks about. But I'll let the IMF decide what they want to do with that, and I know you'll have a lot to talk about on today.
But Jake, sorry to hear about Riot.
It is what it is. I mean, I got something else planned strictly for me around that time now, so I won't go into it. But yeah, everything works out for a reason.
Absolutely. And Anthony, we definitely thank you for coming here and sharing this thing that you have. And obviously, I'm sure we'll see other people think what they would like to do with that. And, more power to whatever people decide. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in the ring again at Rage in the Cage. I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say this Saturday. And I'm sure we'll have a lively conversation as usual.
Oh yeah. Thank you, Jake, so much. I'll leave you be for the last like 26 minutes that you got.
Well, yeah, about 15, we're gonna about 15 because we want to get to Mr. Kendall. I hope you
Real
tune in for Mr.
the
Kendall.
real chief is the real chief will let you have your moment of glory again.
Well,
Thank you.
Il Drago would certainly be tuned in. But thank you, Anthony. I will let him go. And yeah, I don't know half of what it was about. I think he answered about you being a sad man. I don't know what the purpose was of retracted company number 17's
I think he
championship.
could still be celebrating 420. I'm not sure if he does, but
Yeah, you know what? I mean, maybe it's a national holiday a week. You know, Passover is a week, and maybe some people celebrate 420 for a week. But let's move on here. Let's go to the positives here. Let's talk about what's ahead here coming up, and what are your goals here alongside DHC for season 7 in NEW. Let's focus on the positives now.
just win every championship that's available in NEW. Like I said earlier, the tag team titles, the Northeast Championship, the All Wrestling Matters Hardcore Championship. And once I win it, maybe I'll rename it a little bit because you know what? You look at the companies out there today, not all of them actually matter. So some of the wrestling matters. But we'll go ahead and just, see what happens. What else is there? I want to go out, make my name, return to places where I've been before.
Well, TF Crew, I have to think that is now we're starting to see some of the footage out there. I would have to think that TF Crew is certainly still on your list to come back to. I would have to think, that there's still a lot of unfinished business in TF Crew.
Yes. TF Crew, you can expect me there at their next show. Can't, go into everything because I don't know.
I know Gabe will be
But,
here to talk about it.
yep.
I'm definitely not worried about that.
There's places that I've made appearance in last year that I'll be back there again. I'm not getting into too much details, but
Sure.
first time I will be wrestling on Friday the 13th. So
that's fitting for you though to wrestle on Friday the 13th. That's very fitting for you and who you are. I mean, that's got to be a bucket list thing for you. I mean, objectively speaking.
Exactly. I mean, Ride in the Ring just got postponed. That was on the 21st, and then within like the 1 week of it being announced, I was able to fill the booking around there. So, and plus there's a show that's being thought of, being worked on that I'm not going to too much details, but
don't do it here. Definitely don't do it here.
Everything works out for a reason. And,
that's right. That's right.
We are cooking up something that potentially will be the first time ever that NEW does. So I don't want to get
well, you know what? People will find out when the time comes, and I'm sure we'll all be excited about it and we'll support it. And we're here for a few more minutes with Jake Dvorak, the unholy Jake Dvorak. And of course, he's going to be a part of NEW Season 7 Vortex, which is going to be appearing this Saturday. And my name is the Reverend Tom Bryce. In about 23 minutes or so, we'll be here with the one and only Mr. Mark Kendall of Great White, unless he changes his mind after Anthony Steele's latest appearance on Sportzwire. I hope that Mr. Kendall doesn't change his mind, but we'll have to see. We do have more bands on the way. We have Lorraine Lewis of the band Femme Fatale. Let's just say the men will definitely want to look at her. She's definitely an attractive figure, but look her up and you'll see what I'm talking about. But she'll be here very soon. But we'll talk about that at a different time. I'm here again coming up Saturday, Anthony Steele. And I'm not going to ask him about what he just said, but I'm sure he'll talk about it anyway. But we're here for a few more minutes with Jake. Please support our friends in AEW. I want to put the YouTube link up here. So if you have a chance, please go out there and support them. I would really appreciate it because, again, NEW continues to be one of those companies that I look forward to each and every week when they put their content out there. Before I let you go and get to closing thoughts, we touched upon TF Crew, but I have to bring up Gabe Sayers for a minute. And I mean, are we done with Gabe Sayers in NEW, or there's still chapters to be written in this? I mean, I have to ask it because what you guys will put each other through this past season, I mean, is Gabe still on the agenda?
I guess it's one of those things that we're just going to have to wait and find out. I have other things that I want to take care of first, and I'm sure fate will bring us together once more. And when we do, it's going to more than likely be another bloodbath. Could be a death match. It could be a Falls Count Anywhere. It could be a no rope our match. It doesn't matter. We are the two most violent people that's ever been inside of an NEW ring, and I would hope that me and Gabe Sayers gets to run it back at least one time in season 7. But if he steps in my way for the Northeast ship, I mean, he's just gonna have to learn his lesson.
Well, I'm expecting Gabe to be back here before the summer because TF Crew I know will be back, and I'm very excited to talk TF Crew, especially Angel Santiago and Rad Dad's match is finally up, and Angel was actually I don't want to bore you with details, but there was a guy, a Russian Manimal Volkov, that was here a few days ago, and he happened to wrestle Angel Santiago, and that was a rather interesting few minutes of a conversation. So I'm not going to bore anybody with those details. But I did want to ask you before I get to closing thoughts here, what would it mean to you then, should you get that opportunity? It seems to me like you're going to get this opportunity come hell or high water, but what would it mean to you in your career to win the NEW Northeast Championship?
It would, it's going to sound cliche, but it would mean everything. I mean, there's only 2 things in NEW that I have not accomplished that I've wanted to. I can't say what the other thing is. However, the Northeast Championship is one of those 2 things. I've accomplished everything else that I've wanted to in NEW. Northeast Championship has been one thing that has eluded me for the past couple of years. I mean, you look at people, Tyson Spade.
Tyson talked about it quite a bit here. He's been here several times. Yep.
There's like 6 people that's won it. So, for me to add my name to that list to bring back the prestige to the Northeast Championship, if I win this and when I win this, I am going to make this the most wanted championship in NEW's history.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to raise the ante here. I'm going to up the ante a bit here. Since you talked about the Northeast Championship, what it would mean to you, and I know that you have certainly a target on the back of Joe Starr, but should you get that opportunity and you wrestle Joe Starr and you beat him for the Northeast Championship, I will induct you again in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame, because I know it irks you to see Anthony Steele in the Hall of Fame as many times as he has. I am sure it irks you that Justin Parsley is in the Hall of Fame like every other day. And I tell you what, you beat Joe Starr, I will induct you once again into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. Well, you're on here all the time. You go out there, you get a shot at it. We'll put you in the Hall of Fame for winning the Northeast Championship. How's that sound?
That sounds wonderful, Tom. I think that would be my 4th Hall of Fame.
Yeah, well, you know what? I mean, you're catching up. And, after seeing Anthony Steele here and seeing Joe Starr here tonight, you might feel like you're almost obligated to get another Hall of Fame induction. And speaking of which, Doc Holliday says that he might want an NEW championship so he can take it.
I mean, Doc Holliday, you know where to find me, but let's put it this way. If you think you're going to get the Northeast Championship before I do, you need to learn your place, Doc Holliday. You might have won a medal. Congratulations. You won a literal medal, but you are not beating me to getting that Northeast Championship. I will do whatever I need to do to become Northeast champion.
It's speaking of medals, not to change the conversation before we go, but that's actually what, since Anthony brought up D'Angelo LaFlame, and he and Aaron Blaze are actually fighting over a medal at Chase Wakefield's wedding. Yeah, I mean, I just, for whatever reason, that came up. And Chase is here in 2 weeks, and he's going to talk about the medal. And, yeah, there you go. But Doc may have a medal, but he doesn't have a championship. And D'Angelo LaFlame may not have a medal either much longer. But we'll get into all of that here coming up. Is there anything else that you want to talk about before we get to closing thoughts? Anything else that you feel we should touch upon before we get ready for season 7's premiere this Saturday?
Before I forget, go tune in tomorrow on the TF Crew channel. You'll be able to see me and Jeff Nova versus Mikey Anarchy and Gabe Sayers in a Texas Tornado.
Oh, I cannot wait to watch that. I have been waiting a while to watch that, and I'm going to be home tomorrow during the day, so that's exciting.
Yes, sir, and it's been a long time. It's finally being released, so I can't wait to everybody watch that.
Yeah, Gabe waited a while. He did wait a while. You know, it's funny. I do some work with a company called Amplified Enterprise Wrestling, and they had their show. It was for a charity, and I donated a few tickets, and they finally put the show up now. But their show is like now this Saturday. It's like, well, that was 2 months ago, but you know, and not everybody's IMF that can edit a show and put it up like the next day. But you know, yeah, I'll definitely be watching that. I'm excited to see that. I definitely am excited, and I want to congratulate Shocky Boy for being a part of X Brand Wrestling show that took place in Horsham, Pennsylvania. My friends Jesse Daniels was a part of that. I know Mickey Knuckles is in the Wicked 13 tournament. We'll see if Shock is a part of that. But if you want to follow TF Crew, please support TF Crew. TF Crew, I always donate a ticket to every single TF Crew event. There isn't many of them throughout the years, usually 2 or 3, but nevertheless, I support them, and I hope that you join me in supporting them. And they do a great job, and so many of our friends are a part of TF Crew, and I hope you hit the sub button so you can be notified of when that match airs tomorrow, plus everything else that took place in January. All right, I know you're busy, man. You got a bunch on your plate. You know you want to probably forget about seeing Joe Starr, and Anthony Steele was here, and I still don't know why he called you a sad man, but that's what Anthony does. But I will give you the floor now. I will give you some closing thoughts, sir, and anything else you want to plug, share, or say. And I'm looking forward to the next Hall of Fame induction for you, because something tells me that you do have that on your mind, sir.
Definitely. I mean, look at it. If I win the Northeast Championship, I get inducted into the Sportswire Hall of Fame for a 4th time, and I'm not gonna be like D Savage and let you down when he was supposed to win the whatever it was he would be inducted.
Yeah. Oh, I think it was.
going
I
to
think
make
it was. I
sure.
think it was. I think it was the undisputed championship the first time. No, it was the Northeast Championship. No, it was the Northeast. That was last year. Yeah, that was last year. It was the Northeast Championship. Good point.
Well, Jake Dvorak never lets anyone down, so you'll be seeing me hopefully within the next couple months here on Sportswire.
You'll be here
I'll
anyway,
take
though.
all.
You'll be here before that anyway. Come on, you'll be here
Yeah,
before
I
that
mean,
anyway.
we'll see. You know, but you'll see me one of the next few times I'm on. You'll see me with the Northeast Championship right here on this shoulder or on this shoulder. It doesn't matter. And I'm going to be looking to add more and more gold and more accomplishments to my career. Hopefully, I get more and more bookings throughout 2025. I've just accepted a few, so I cannot wait to add more.
Awesome.
And I cannot wait to do more death matches. I can't wait to show people what I'm made of. And I hope 2025 is going to be a great year for not only me, but for Ray Silver, Justin Abel-Sane, DHC, and NEW.
Absolutely. I agree on all of that. And we look forward to NEW's season premiere. That'll take place this coming Saturday, 12 o'clock Eastern time, I'm pretty sure. And I hope that the best is yet to come for everybody in the NEW roster. And Tyson's definitely betting on you, our 22-time Warfare champion. Obviously, the Warfare champ. Yes, it was brought back, but that was memorable. And yeah, check some of that on Instagram and other places. But yeah, very excited to see DHC, the rest of the roster. Joe Starr will be here in a few weeks, and I'm sure he'll tell us that now there's a new list, and that the first list wasn't a stunt, and now is the new. We'll get into it. And I'm sure Jake will certainly give him a receipt. But in the meantime, please support our friends in NEW. Please support Jake on Instagram. Please go out there and give him a follow. We really appreciate that very much. And my friend, looking forward to this Saturday season premiere to start. I'm looking forward to the gang here having the best season yet. And I thank you for your time as always. And we will see you here a lot sooner than a few months, but looking forward to seeing you most importantly on Saturday's show.
Thank
All
you.
right. Well, that was Jake Dvorak. Of course, he is from the group DHC, which certainly wields all the power in NEW. And of course, he is the unholy Jake Dvorak, and he is the man that has won the most championships of any Sportswire Radio Hall of Famer. And he'll be a part of NEW's Season 7 premiere on the debut episode of Vortex. That'll take place around 12 o'clock Eastern time on their YouTube channel. You can go to their NEW Instagram page. Also, check them out on Facebook for more details. And my name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice, figuratively and literally, where all wrestling matters here. And if you're here on Sportswire Radio, in about 10 or so minutes, I will be on the air with Great White guitarist, Mr. Mark Kendall, of course, the legendary band Great White. So if you'd like to check it out, you can. Otherwise, thank you so much, everybody here, for tuning in. Anthony Steele will be here Saturday night and he will probably have some other things to say, and that's what he does. But in the meantime, please support our friends in NEW. Thank you so much, everybody. Happy birthday. Zilla will be here tomorrow at some point to wish you a happy birthday. And in the meantime, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, on the number one global radio station that is Sportswire Radio, where all wrestling matters. Please support NEW, and I'll see